What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mouzakis and we are locked in. This is episode 3, The Wife, Clickbait. We know last episode we seen the detective work his butt off. He followed things out and we also found out who this mystery man is, which leads us into the wife. Because why is he on her social media if he's whooping on her husband? But before we get into that, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and you'll be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, the wife, I knew she was suspicious from the first episode when I seen her. I said, hey, she ain't sticking up for her husband. We can't trust her. But now we need to go question her about who is this guy that was whooping on Nick like that, and who is going to pay that bar tab that Nick left when he left with his ribs bruised. This is episode 3, The Wife, Clickbait. We start the episode off. Everybody out here having a good time. They dancing, the music playing. Oh, baby. So it looks like a reception. We got Nick out here dancing with his mom. Him and Sophie dancing. The kids out there dancing. So we having a good time. We thinking life is sweet. At this moment, it may have been, but we know in the present day, it ain't as peaches and cream like it seems here. They got Sophie in an interrogation room, back against the wall. She crying. They're like, yeah, we found Nick's body, but we're going to need your help because there was a random guy and we seen him on tape whooping on Nick. Oh, and that bar fine wasn't paid either, but we need your help. You're not telling us everything. What can you tell us about this guy that we seen whooping on Nick? And just in case you think we BSing, here's the tape. Now, I watched it 85 times and there was no way for Nick to be able to fight back with whoever this guy was. But we need you to tell us, who is this guy? Never talk to the law without a lawyer present. Now they got her in there using emotions, using feelings. And we don't use feelings. We only use facts. But she's like, yeah, I know him. She's having a flashback of them holding hands. I told y'all she was guilty of something. His name is Curtis Hamilton. Now, Curtis Hamilton has that right hand, too, so he got some power. But she said he was a co-worker. Well, a former co-worker. So let's dig a little deeper. Now she in here breaking down. We were co-workers. It started off as friends. That's how it always starts. They always have a work husband. You got your husband at home, you go to work, there's always a guy that they messing with. Not always, but 8 times out of 10, maybe 8.5 times out of 10. But now she's at home. Mom, why did I do this? I made a mistake. And the mom is like, child. Ugh. The media, they all outside. Once they get a hold of this affair, they about to twist and turn everything. Finally, someone in the family. Grandma took their cell phones, their computers. Like I said in the first episode, you need to remove all social media from the kids. Now, the youngest one, they know that the dad is dead. Now, this kid, he's like, I want to go get a knife and hurt whoever did this to him. And she's like, nah, you can't do that. They're going to get emotional. But that's why you got to remove their phones from them so they can't see this. They can't hear any of the trolls. They can't see any of the negative stuff. And also, at a young age, you don't want them to have all the facts and know all the details because that's going to be on their mind nonstop. Now she's starting to feel guilty. Oh, if Curtis did this, it's my fault. Now, the mom is like, nah, you can't say that. You can't put the blame on you. Now, if Curtis fought Nick over Sophie, that's one of the lamest moves you can do. You're fighting over a married woman and you're fighting her husband. You're not even with her. Why? No, you never fight over no woman in the first place. And then for somebody else's wife. Oh, Curtis, we need to get to the bottom of this. But we ain't putting no blame on Curtis because Curtis wasn't the one that was married. Sophie is the one that's married and she was the one allowing this little affair to go on. Curtis is being a man, a single man. Hey, you're going to do what you do. But a married woman, it's your responsibility not to step out of the relationship. Pia, she's drained. She's doing everything she can for her brother. Finds out she gets information from Sophie to confirm that the police wasn't lying about Nick being dead because they won't let him see the body. They just let Sophie see the pictures. So she's like, hey, can I at least stay here? Sophie's like, yeah, this is the least Sophie can do. She's been cheating on this girl's brother. Her love affair and whooped on Nick. Nick ain't paid a bar fine. And so she's like, yeah, you can stay here. So Pia, she walks off, but she has muddy shoes on. Now, the rule is you got to take the shoes off in the house. But she's like, oh, I'll clean it in the morning. She walks off and Sophie's looking at it. But that's Sophie's little pet peeve. As the night calms down a little bit, Sophie looks around. All right, everybody sleep. She heads over to Curtis's house. Now she got to go talk to Curtis. And I know if I'm Curtis and she shows up and I found out that her husband is dead, first thing I'm doing is looking out. Oh, no, you're not coming up in here. Hell no. Now Curtis has to explain himself. And he's like, wait, Nick hit me up and I came to see him at the bar and he attacked me. And she's like, he attacked you? I seen the footage and you were whooping on him pretty badly. He's like, oh, well, you know, he's lying at this point. But I just don't understand why men go fight over women, especially a married woman. Like, dog, that's not your wife. You shouldn't be fighting over her. Just do what you do on the side. Play the side guy. I do it well. And don't even worry about that. Not with married women, though. But just play the side guy. You don't have to do nothing. She'll come over. She'll leave. That's it. Now, the police, they have this footage. So they show up to Curtis's house with a warrant. They like, we want cell phones. We want tablets. We want computers. Matter of fact, is there any journals in here? Is there anything that has documentation on it? So first thing he's saying, he looks at Sophie like, did you call the cops? I ain't do nothing to Nick. I may have whooped on him, but I got rights. Y'all can't do this. So he's looking at Sophie like, did you set me up after all we been through, the relationship we have, and you telling the cops I did something? She's like, no, I didn't do that. But the cops, they're there on their own because they have the footage. So they want to find out, why did you attack Nick on the day that he went missing? They got my dog Curtis in handcuffs, walking him through the precinct. Sophie's in there looking at him. She's kind of hurt because she did like him, but at the same time, she doesn't know if he did anything to Nick. But you really shouldn't even be worried about that because all of this is on you, Sophie. If Nick does have something to do with Curtis and Curtis kidnapping him, then it's all because of you, Sophie, for messing with him. The only thing Nick did was figure it out. So all this is on Sophie. Don't be trying to be in there and playing victim. Now we get the flashback of the fight. Now you remember the son Ethan said they were fighting and mom's in the room crying and dad's trying to act like nothing was wrong. Well, she said she slept with someone else. Nick says, did you like the sex? Because he's putting it together. He's like, oh, Curtis, okay, a co-worker. Did you at least like the sex? And she's like, why would you ask me that? Me personally, I wouldn't have cared if she liked the sex or not. I would have just been like, damn, you had sex with somebody? Okay, say less. I'm up out of here. We got to talk to Sophie. We got to figure this out. Was Curtis in love with you? She says, yeah, he was. That's why I ended it. Why did you even start it? That's what I want to know. Why? Why did you even start it? You knew this guy was going to catch feelings. You obviously had feelings because you kept going back. And then you knew it was wrong. That's why you tried to end it. Now, Curtis just took it too far to went and fought Nick. But Sophie, this is all on you. There's no one to blame about Nick getting whooped on but you. All this is because of you. I know that's right. The homicide detective said, if you were happy in your marriage, Sophie, why would you go have an affair? She was, yeah, you weren't happy in your marriage. That's why you went out and you slept with Curtis and you did Nick wrong. But it is what it is. This detective, he takes things serious. He's not as, lenient and, forthcoming like, oh, let's make sure she's all right. No. If you were happy in your marriage, then why'd you have an affair? Because we want to figure out why Curtis went and whooped on Nick. I don't know who gave the kids back their devices, but they're like, hey, why is Mr. Hamilton getting arrested? Like, this is the guy from the school, Mom. What's going on? Now, she's in that awkward situation where she doesn't want to tell the kids she was having an affair, but it's going to be best that she tells them because when the news gets a hold of, wait, Curtis Hamilton and Sophie were having an affair that beat up Nick before he left, they going to spin the whole story. Wife, sick of husband. Her and her boyfriend of 3 months been having an affair. They killed her husband so she could be free and run off with him. You know how it go. We know. I seen T. Clark said Pia is a pit bull, and she really is. So she takes Sophie in the room like, hey, did this guy Nick, the guy you've been having an affair with, did he kill my brother? Why is he even in the picture? And Sophie's like, no, he didn't. I don't know. I made a mistake. That's not a mistake. Forgetting to take the trash out on Tuesday is a mistake, but having sex with somebody while you're married, that's not a mistake. You did that. That's planned out. You don't just, let me just have sex. It just happens. No, you planned that out. You wanted to have sex with this guy. That's why you were involved with him for 3 months. And Pia is not letting up. When they come out of this argument, the kids are out there and they're listening like, wait, you had sex with Curtis from the school? Now, Sophie, she's yelling at her mom. Why didn't you tell me the kids were out there? If I was the mom, I'd said, why didn't you tell the kids you were having sex with the teacher at the school? Yelling at me. I ain't the one having an affair. My husband ain't dead. You did this. Your boyfriend went and whooped on your husband. Your husband's dead. Your boyfriend is locked up. Don't be yelling at me for your mistakes. Sophie storms out the house. She got to go run a few errands. The news and everybody's out there. But there was a white lady. We're like, who is this random lady? But she's following her. And the lady says, hey, I didn't mean to startle you or anything. Turns out the lady's name is Emma Beasley. Now, she's from LA. Remember, they're in Oakland. She says, I've been dating your husband, kind of. He goes by Danny Walters on this app. And we've been seeing each other. She's like, whoa, wait a minute. So now Nick has a mistress also, but he's been keeping it on the low. See, unlike Sophie, she's messing with somebody in the same city, someone that has access to the family, someone that can see everything that's going on. Not only that, they're on social media together. They work together. Now, Nick, he was a little more clean with it, his out of the thing. But she's like, well, if you ever want to contact me, you can. And Sophie like, why would I ever want to do that? But she's just trying to, reach out. Like, I may have some information or something because Danny Walters, or is it Nick? Is it Danny or is it Nick? His name is Nick, Emma. But I was involved with him. Now, Sophie gets in the car. She's breaking down like, damn, this whole time, Nick was messing around. Now, you see, she didn't cry when she was messing around with her guy, Curtis. She only started crying when she found out Nick was doing the same thing. You see how that works? You can do something, but when it happens to you, you don't get the same. But she starts having flashbacks of at that, the intro where they were all having fun at the reception. And some of the girls are like, ooh, man, we sleep with Nick. She's having flashbacks like, damn, Nick was really taking up them offers. She speeds back to the house. Pia, I got to talk to you. There may be something else going on with Nick. There's a website called Smitten, and he had an alias of Danny Walters. Let's get on there and look it up. So these guys are 37. So that means Danny's what, 2 years, well, a year older than me. And they're like, okay, let's see what he got. User account deactivated. So he shut that down quickly. Now everybody's watching the news. I told you, once the media gets a hold of any kind of affair or anything, the tabloids gonna run with stuff. Because at this point, this is the biggest case that's going on. Somebody was on social media saying they'll die at 5 million views, and they actually died. My thing is, look how old this is. They got the first Xbox and the PS2. This is supposed to be 2020. They doing them kids bad, unless Nick was just, a true gamer and he just kept all the systems. But back to the case. This is the biggest case going on. 5 million views and he dies, and then we actually find the body, and it turns out the wife is having an affair with a guy that worked at the school. Oh, this is good daytime media. Sophie and their family, they show up to the school because the school's having something for them. We know Curtis is locked up. He was at the school. Nick was a physical therapist at the school. Sophie, she works at the school. And everybody's looking like, man, why is she here? She's been having an affair the whole time. Her husband's dead and she's up here showing her face. You already know how that goes. People are always going to look at you and judge you. But in this case, she was having an affair. So everybody's looking at her like, you dirty dog, you. While all this is going on, Benson comes up. We know he really likes Pia. So he's like, I just want to apologize for the app. And she's like, well, it's not like you created it. He's like, well, actually, I did. But there's neither here nor there. So she's just like, hey, Vince, all right, you did enough. We got him. Right now, this relationship, it doesn't need to go on. I'm still grieving my brother. And he's just, I just want to help. Now, they're giving a little speech about everything that's been going on. People are still mugging Sophie, and when she walks off, one of the girls has a cup, and she looks at her like, you should be ashamed of yourself. And Sophie said, what did you say? She takes the cup, throws it on her. Right when she threw it, I would have died as that water and pieced her up. But that's just me. This old lady wasn't going to do none of that. And Sophie gets up out of there. Everybody's like, oh. Now all she could do is think about Nick and all of the good times. She messed up badly. She's in there looking at pictures of her and the kids crying and stuff. But hey, in life, we all make decisions. You just got to own up to them. Live with the consequences that you put into it. Hey, and figure out where you're going to go from here. But unfortunately, Nick is dead. Curtis is locked up until we figure out if he has anything to do with it. There you go. Episode 3, the wife. Let me know. Do y'all think Curtis had anything to do with this, or Curtis was just hurt and went and fought Nick? You know, he got some information. Oh, Nick, you want to meet up? I guess you challenging me for the wife. Let me know what y'all think about that, because if I'm the side guy, I'm not interacting, I'm not communicating none of that with the husband. Let me know what y'all think about that whole thing, and do you think that Sophie is guilty? That's what we want to know. But hey, I'm Mouzakis. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.